I say to fix things a lot more than I say that things are good. Very picky. Very picky. Pretty much every single person in the class, I'll come by and try to fix something. Sometimes I just stop and stay right by you. Just pound you, pound you, pound you. Turn the foot, turn the foot, turn the foot, turn the foot, turn the foot. Turn your hands, turn your hands. This is a jerk. It's exactly the opposite. If you have a coach that doesn't coach, is that a good coach? No. Repetition will get you really good. Repetition means just doing something. You do a jab 1,000 times, that jab will get better. Sometimes you need to be corrected. And that's my job. My job is to point it out to you when you're making a mistake. Not worry about hurting your feelings. Just point it out. Say, this is no good. We got to fix this. This is how I want you to do it. So then what's your job? How do you fix that? Rachel? Okay. But there's something more important than trying harder to fix it. Something real important. What do we call that? That's part of your what, Max? Nope. Nope. Alex? Nope. Cyborg? Nope. Nope. It's called focusing. You have to focus. If I'm telling you to turn your front foot, you have to start to think about your front foot. If you don't think about turning your front foot, is it going to turn? No, because what controls your front foot? Me? What controls your front foot? Your brain, your mind controls that foot. So if your mind is just blankly going through it, is the front foot going to turn? No. If I'm telling you that your hook punches can't be like that, you have to turn your hands in, what do you have to start to do? You have to think about turning your hands in. If I'm telling you you're too close to the heavy bag, what do you have to start to do? You have to think about backing up from the heavy bag. If I'm telling you that your hands are touching, and I don't want that, I want them in front of your shoulders, what do you have to do? Think about getting your hands apart and in front of your shoulders. If I'm telling you that your right hand is too far forward, what do you have to do? You have to think about bringing a hand back every time. Because a lot of times the things I'm pointing out to you are bad habits. So naturally, when you go to throw a hook punch, that hand's going to be there instead of there. So you have to retrain that hook punch. You got to fix it. You got to retrain it. And anytime you do something physical, you're always going to have some really good habits. You're always going to have some bad habits. Now, when I point out one of those bad habits to you, you have to set a goal in your head to fix it. Set a goal in your head for this. Set a goal in your head to fix that. Because there's a good chance that if I'm watching you for your next belt up, that weakness, that bad habit that I'm pointing out, is what I'm looking for to be fixed. And then a couple weeks goes by, and then I see, oh, now those shoulders are turning into that cross. And we got real power. Good. I tell her something. She focuses on it. And yes, sometimes even when there's nothing to be fixed, it's always something. I'll always find something. I'm very, very picky. That's a good thing, Luciana. Yes, that's a very good thing. Because you didn't come here to get okay, did you? You didn't come here to get good, did you? You came here to get great, right? Good. Because I do great. That's my specialty, is great. You see when you come to a class and you have a lot of high ranks in that class, you see how great our students are. You see the pictures of the tournament teams in the back and how many trophies the kids have. And you see the same kids' faces in every picture. Month and year after year after year, you see the same kids in those pictures. Because they understand what it takes to get great. And what it takes is very, very simple. The same thing I told you in your first class. I will tell you in every class. It takes the effort. It's the biggest thing that I look for. And a lot of times, you'll hear when I tell you that you're getting your next belt. The most impressive thing that I've been seeing from you lately is your effort. Especially when that's years down the line that we're talking. Years ago you started, and now I'm seeing the best effort you've ever put in. Years later, that's hard to do. And very impressive. You'll hear me say things to you like your focus has been exceptional lately. You'll hear me say things to you like your non-quitting spirit is amazing. And I know that you're not going to give up on yourself. You very rarely hear me say, oh, I'm going to promote you to your low red belt because your round kick is so good. No. Because if your focus is better than it's ever been, and your attitude and intensity in the class is better than it's ever been, and your non-quitting spirit is better than it's ever been now, over years of training, isn't your round kick the best it's ever been? Aren't your jabs and crosses the best they've ever been to? Isn't your grappling and your kickboxing going to be the best it's ever been? Yes. So you don't have to focus on those things. What you have to focus on is your attitude, your focus, and your non-quitting spirit. I'm going to tell you, going to a red belt is a huge, huge step. A huge step. Not only is it a huge reward, and me really telling you that recently your attitude and your focus and your non-quitting spirit has been the best I have ever seen it since you've trained. You're training harder now than you ever have before. And it really shows. It really shows. But it's also me saying that I'm going to be expecting even more of that as a red. So, you've turned it up recently. Can you turn it up again? Can you give even more effort? More attitude? They can't rate you. Always be proud of yourself. You worked so hard for so many years. But always remember, the second that it gets tied around your waist, before you even sit down in your spot back there, you have a new goal for yourself. Everybody stand up at attention. Face Rachel, show respect, bounce and loose. Good job, Rachel. Give her a hand.